I've slowed down even more and withdrawn even more. This is the least I've touched my phone in a long time. And I think that's serving me really well. I feel grounded, I feel present. I don't have a mind full of things that don't belong to me. Not to say that I don't like talking to people, and messaging people, and having relationships. It's just that usually when I check messages and everything, you just seem to inevitably end up on the scroller. Like no matter how present and aware you are, how much you practice meditation, these devices know how to get your attention. At the moment, it seems like the phone is my enemy. It's like full on. But I did do like an oracle spread recently, and it was really weird. And I wasn't going to talk about it. I told my friend Shawnee, because she's like full making her own oracle deck, and she's nearly finished actually. But I told her because I was like, you'll understand how weird this is. So I did like the full oracle spread. I pulled out 5 cards, and I did the whole, like they're face down. I flipped them all over and like read each one. And then after I'd read the whole spread and I'd seen all the different cards, I was packing them up, and behind the last card there was another card. And like, so I shuffled the deck, I put all the cards face down, and I flipped them all over, and through that whole process it seemed like there were just 5 cards there. And then when I was totally finished, thought it was all over, I was packing up, I found this card, and it was a card about addiction. And one of the key messages that jumped out at me from the card meaning was, your fiercest addiction is seeking you out. And addiction's been a pretty big part of my journey, but like less and less. Like I've conquered it in all different aspects, in all different ways as time's gone on. But yeah, it's just really interesting how addiction was like hiding behind this other like beautiful happy card about how like I'm just going to enjoy nature and like fresh fruits and like some nice healing and sensuality and like all this stuff. And behind that card was like, watch out for this. And like there's nothing, like that's not a thing in oracle readings. So it's something that I would just interpret however I like. And I interpret it as like there's this like addiction that's hiding from me, or like there's this possibility of like ending up walking down a path that leads me back to addiction again somehow. So like one of the things that I thought it might be was like the phone, social media, validation, instant gratification. Another thing I thought it might be was sex. Because like I haven't always had like the healthiest relationship with like, I guess like my sexual appetites and stuff. But yeah, that's like just an interesting side note, I guess. I guess that's the journal today. Like that's where we are. That's what I've just shared. I feel like I shouldn't be doing heaps of like oracle and stuff, but since I cleared, since I shared my intention to stop using psychedelics, obviously that was a huge part of like my life, and it was a way that I connected to spirit in a way that I received like guidance and really found that place inside myself where everything sort of came together and made sense. It was like that was my like favorite ritual. It was like my thing. So I've shared the intention not to use psychedelics anymore, and since I did that, I've felt almost like a sense of loneliness. At first it felt like like a painful breakup with like a girlfriend, and it was like, you haven't done anything wrong, and we're great together, and this has been awesome, and we've grown so much together, but like I've just got to go on a different path. Like I'm moving to a new city, and we can't move together. You've got your own things that you need to do. So yeah, and then like I sort of grieved that part of myself and that part of my life, and it's over. And then then I just had like this kind of emptiness where the mushroom used to be, and yeah, I've just like oracle cards are like a little band-aid for that, like a little glimpse into like, I don't know, like a little way to connect with something beyond. But the whole reason why I ended my relationship with the mushroom was because I'm going to be devoting my life to this new practice, holographic kinetics, and the idea is you don't need anything outside of your own spirit, a connection to your own spirit. So I don't need oracle cards, I don't need mushrooms, I don't need Reiki healing or like anything. There's nothing outside of myself that I need to have this kind of like mind-blowing experience and like be able to receive all of the information that I need, all of the healing that I need, and be able to also do that for others. So that's quite profound, but it's like, I don't know, maybe it's been like every time I've like come back and I've sort of immersed myself in HK, I've set my expectations way too high. Like, oh, I've just got to like devote my life to this and like just fucking go from 0 to 100, like just be like have that connection to spirit and just like be all knowing and like fucking like so connected and switched on. And it's just like, it's going to take some work. So like maybe I should like cut myself some slack as well, just wanting to like play with some oracle cards for a minute and just like, and supplement that connection a little bit. Like I just, until like I'm going to do the course, I'm going to learn more and I'm going to have more skills so that I don't need to use things outside myself. But just for a minute, like oracle cards aren't a big deal, hopefully. Like we'll see. But yeah. So it's interesting. And there's been like heaps of like external things so obviously trying to pull me back into that mushroom world. Like as soon as I shared my intention, I received a message from one guy who, he's a YouTuber as well, and he has more subscribers than me. So like for ages ago, I said like, we'll do a collab and like I'll teach you about mushrooms or something. And it was so long ago, and like it's probably been years total since like that initial thing. And he's come back out into my DMs like, I'm ready now. Like I'm ready to do this. I saw that you said that you don't want to do mushrooms anymore, but I would still like you to be there when I have my first mushroom experience. And I was like, I can't even reply to that because it's like, I've closed that dimension. And this is like just something external trying to pull me back into that game. So it was interesting. And it's like not the only thing. There's like even not mushroom related things, like heaps of external things have been trying to pull me back into like old parts of my life, like trying to time travel me back to like other shit that I've already closed myself off from. I've dealt with that. That's in the past. There was another person who was chasing up like footage from like over 5 years ago, like six plus years ago. And it wasn't even like my footage. It was like footage that they recorded that they thought I might have a copy of. And it's just like these distractions keep popping up that are trying to like revert me back to my old selves. And that's just a fascinating thing as well. Like a lot of these kinds of, I wouldn't call them synchronistic experiences because they kind of got a negative attachment to them. It's like experiences where like things outside of myself are trying to pull me back into old games that I've already finished, if that makes sense. And that's like what I've got to be sort of the most aware of at the moment. I'm moving forward into a new chapter in my life, and I'm really trying to, at the moment, tie up any loose ends in the old games so that when I move into this new phase of my life, it's like I can fully be there without any distractions from the past. So that means like with all the footage and everything that I've been working on, I have a bunch of mushroom footage, and for me it was just going to be like, I've been making a epic mushroom video every year pretty much, and this was going to be the next epic in the series of like the mushroom journey. But now it's probably going to be more like a goodbye to the mushroom. And also, it wasn't even going to be about mushrooms this year anyway. It was going to be about living life to the fullest and really embodying your full aliveness and just having fun. And that's like the cure that we all need for all of this depression and anxiety and anguish. Disconnection. We need to fucking connect with what it means to be a human being again. So that it wasn't even about the mushroom this year already, but now it's like gonna like still be that story. I don't even know if like how I'll tie the goodbye to the mushroom into it, but yeah, I was working on this really big film that was just gonna like blow everybody's mind, but now I've got to like rethink all that, and I'm still like in that like processing stage, from like sharing my intention to end my psychedelic journey and beginning my new HK journey. Like I'm still like, it's not something that you can just fucking snap your fingers and off you go. Like that's what I'm trying to communicate, I guess. Like that's why I was playing with oracle cards, and I've been feeling like a little bit frazzled, and it's been hard for me to stay grounded. Like usually all this stuff that's going on in the world right now, piece of cake. But because I had like a really powerful, humbling experience during it, it's really sort of, it's really, put me in my place and made me like really take a step back. And I've had to withdraw and isolate myself anyway. Like I've needed this space. Which is another interesting thing that like we're all being forced into that. So it'll probably be more like it'll start to make more sense to me, which means it'll start to make sense to anybody who's trying to follow along very shortly. I think it is now. I think this is already like starting to sound more coherent. So if you enjoy these journals, click the like button for us and share it with other people who may benefit. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to have a bit of a conversation. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. I'm not posting them anymore if I don't feel grounded while I'm recording it. If I end up just completely frantically frazzled, just in headspace with my mind going all over the place and it feels like none of it is really me, then I'm just gonna keep it to myself, because I don't want to put just more noise out into the internet world.